Hey, Jessica, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you and see if anybody else is coming on. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but you should be muted. I'm gonna make sure. Wonder where everybody is. Let's see. We are live in the meeting. All right, people are getting in. Here we go. Hi, ladies. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes for everybody to get on. Everybody should be muted. Bonnie, I didn't expect you to be on, but I'm glad.
I didn't expect it either. Yeah, we just went to see Harry Potter and on Broadway with the school. Huh? Yeah, it was good.
Fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like your Broadway show.
What's that?
Oh no, Larissa was talking. It's all right. She said to Cassidy it's like her fifth Broadway show or something.
Oh, that was, I love Broadway shows. We go twice a month, so
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna mute you guys if I could figure out how. Oh, Bonnie just muted herself. Cool. And thank you, Bonnie, for inviting all those people into the group. Your lavender cup should be there in like a couple of weeks, it said.
Thank you so much. It's
My
awesome.
pleasure. So if you guys are not in my deals group, you should be, because Bonnie got a 45-ounce Stanley Cup. All right. For some reason, it says you're muted, but doesn't show you're muted. I mean, I hear someone. Someone is not muted. Let's see. Oh, wait. I got it. Margarita is not muted. Okay. All right. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes because I just put in the group that we had that we were in the meeting. Today, we're going to talk about if you're injured or coming off of an injury, about working out. We're also going to talk about something that I didn't get to talk about last meeting that was on my notes, and it's like things that you should think about. And I kind of talk about this a lot, but why you're not making weight loss progress, or reasons why you could not be making weight loss progress. So we're going to talk about that, and that's going to be our meeting. We're going to give it 2 minutes, and then I'm going to get started. All right, I don't know if anybody else is coming on, but it is recording, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully I won't get cut off, and hopefully I will basically say everything that needs to be said and be done, right? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is why you're not making weight loss progress. And the first thing I want to say is you don't have to be perfect to make weight loss progress. You don't have to be perfect with anything you're doing to see your body change. You don't have to be perfect to be successful. So I just want to make sure you get that in your head. So if you are creating your own macros after I have given you your macros, you're not going to see progress. Meaning, you think I gave you too many carbs, so you're not eating all the carbs because you think that's going to help with your speed up your progress. That is not going to happen. It's going to slow down your progress. Or if you say you don't feel like you need to be drinking all your water, but you're going to drink something else instead of that, and it's not an accepted water, then for sure, you're not eating the right, you're not following the program, you're not going to see the results. The second one is you're exceeding the number of macros I'm giving you within that target that I give you, that over under. If you're 12 over under or 11 over under, your progress is going to take longer. You're not going to be as successful. The closer you are, and a lot of my new clients, I'm telling them it's 5 over under for your carbs and proteins and 2 for their fats. So if you want to see progress a little bit faster, then definitely stay within that range. 5 over and under your proteins and carbs, 2 over and under for your fats. If you go over your fiber, it is totally okay. But make sure that you're hitting your minimum fiber intake and that you're not going under the fiber intake, and that you could always go over. But if you go over, keep in mind, you might feel constipated. So you got to just feel it out and see what works for you. Somebody's messaging me in the group, but I just want to make sure that they don't think I'm ignoring them if they're trying to get on the meeting. Okay. From there, if you are eyeballing and estimating your food, you're not going to be successful. Now, yes, you know, if you're somewhere and you don't have the option of measuring or weighing, that's fine. But if you're consistent with measuring and weighing, then you're going to see progress. So yes, there's flexibility because you're out, you know, that you don't have that, those tools with you. But if you're home, that's where you need to be diligent and consistent with weighing and measuring, because then it'll be easier for you when you're outside of your house, when you're not able to do that. So think about how much estimation makes sense for you, and then bring it in or reel it in and see if you notice a difference when you're not estimating as much as you thought you could estimate. So think about the units of measure you're using tablespoons, cups, 1 piece of fruit. So if you're putting in 1 piece of fruit, what is that? What is 1 piece of fruit? You need to weigh it. You need to see what it is. A tablespoon of peanut butter not weighed compared to a tablespoon of peanut butter weighed is totally 2 different things. Because a tablespoon of peanut butter, when you round it out, looks like it's a tablespoon, but if you measure it out and weigh it 15 grams, it's going to be a lot less. So you need to think about those things. If you're always having a tablespoon of peanut butter and you've weighed it out 2 or 3 times, you know what it looks like. Yes, you can eyeball it. You don't have to worry about doing it every time. For things like that, it's not that big of a deal. If you are choosing inaccurate entries when you are logging your food, that is probably the number 1 pitfall that I see so much, because you could be thinking that you're hitting your macros, but you're choosing the cheese omelet versus making your own cheese omelet in the app, because you have no idea what eggs they're using. It could be jumbo, it could be large, it could be the small, it could be extra large. You have no idea what kind of cheese they're using. You don't know what they're using as butter. So by you choosing that entry, it's not actually a good tracking. It's not a good logging. So you have to really think about looking at the verified entries. And if you're using MyFitnessPal, that's super easy because there's like a blue dot next to it so that you know that it is. But you can also cross-reference. You know, if it's something you're not sure of, just Google it and see what it looks like compared to what's in MyFitnessPal. Eventually, you won't need to do that, but I do with a lot of things. Like if something doesn't look right to me, I'm always like, well, that doesn't seem right. So I'll always Google it or do a nutrition fact check. I'll look on maybe 2 different apps to see what they both say, or I'll look for a bunch of different entries. And the one that comes up the most popular is the one usually what I'll use. But if it's something that you're cooking or something that is easier and more accurate for you to enter it in detail, then that's what you should be doing. Not just pulling out the cheeseburger entry that is in MyFitnessPal, or like an apple. You know, you want to make sure you're choosing the right apple. Just don't choose apple in MyFitnessPal. Is it a Macintosh? Is it a green? Is it a Fiji? Whatever it is, because they're totally different carbs in all those different apples. So you want to make sure you're doing that. So taking bites here and there is going to be your major pitfall. Oh, this doesn't count. I'm just going to try it. Oh, I'm cooking this for dinner. I'm just going to taste it. Or pass by and grab a nut or a Hershey's Kiss, or oh, grapes aren't that bad. I'm going to just grab a handful. I don't need to track it. Or, you know, those little things. I mean, I know when my kids were little and I would do like tater tots and I was doing Weight Watchers, I would always say to myself, oh, it's just one tater tot. It's not going to make a difference. It makes a difference. It makes a difference when you are, you know, the sweet potatoes, you know, it makes a difference with everything. So you need to make sure that you are not doing bites here and there. If you're cooking with oils or cooking with spray, make sure you're tracking that, because oil counts. A lot of the sprays don't really count. It tells you like 2 sprays is like nothing. But if you're doing more than 2 sprays, then yes, you definitely want to account for it. Look at your can before you're spraying. If you're using a spray, like I always use spray. When I cook, I use spray. When Mike cooks, he uses oil. So I have to do it 2 different ways depending on what's going on. Even with when I cook eggs, you know, I cook it with spray. Mike cooks his eggs with oil. I try to get him to use a spray, but he doesn't. If you're prepping and cooking, you're taking bites as you are prepping and cooking. That is the biggest no-no. Don't do it. If you're taking a bite off your food for your kids or your partner or anything like that, if you are tempted to snack while you are cooking, cut up some cucumbers, cut up some peppers, cut up some celery, something that's there that is not going to count as anything really. And it's okay to do that while you're cooking if you feel that you need to do that. If you are making chocolate chip cookies, and you can make protein cookies, I mean, that's not something you can't do, but if you are, you need to make sure you're counting what you're doing. You can't just chuck in, you know, the chocolate chips or the Lily's chips, you know. I have this thing with Lily's chocolate chips. I don't know if you guys have ever had them or tried them, but they're dark chips. They're teeny, 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 tiny little chips. And when I first started tracking macros, I would keep them in the refrigerator because it was like my treat. And then I realized that I was grabbing a handful and throwing them in my mouth. And I would put in there handful, like you could do handful in the app. What the hell is a handful? So you have to really be accurate. If you took 20 Lily's chips, that's what you're putting in there. If you took 3 almonds, that's what you're putting in there, because that's what's going to throw off your macros. And that's what's going to make you not be as successful as you could be or should be. If you are using alcohol on a regular basis, and I am not looking at anybody because the only person that I could see is Margarita, so please don't think I'm looking at you. I'm glad I have my glasses on because you can't see who I'm looking at, but alcohol is fine, but don't, having it on a regular basis, meaning every night, or self-sabotaging yourself on the weekend and not tracking it, or only tracking the one glass, but then filling up your wine glass. That is not going to be a positive move for you, because that is going to make you not as successful. When you drink, I want you guys to think about this. It's basically pressing pause on your fat burning. So your body will prioritize. So everybody says, oh, alcohol slows down your metabolism. That's not true. But what will happen is oh, Stacey, I didn't even see you on there. I didn't even notice I let you in. Sorry. Hi, Stacey. Your body will prioritize metabolizing the alcohol over the carbs and the fats to give you the energy and for energy and recovery. That means those carbs and fats will stay in your body longer because it's working on the alcohol first. So it's not slowing down your metabolism, but it's prioritizing the alcohol before the food. Now, let's say you're eating that and you're drinking, right? So you're having alcohol and you're having nachos, or you're having ice cream, or you're having alcohol in your coffee. I don't even know. People do that. I know they do that, but I can't think of what it is. And then you're having your dessert. Like, you're totally counterintuitive what you're doing. You should not be doing that. Yes, there's a time and there's a place that you can enjoy your drink, your glass of wine, whatever it is. But if you are that person that feels like they're taking 3 steps back over the weekend, test it out. Just one weekend and don't drink. And you will be amazed. I went a full year, actually 13 months, without 1 sip of alcohol, just because I wanted to see if I could do it, not for any reason at all. And then I drank on my 50th birthday. And I felt cleaner. I felt better. Now, I can't lie and say that I don't drink anymore, because we went away to Italy and I've been drinking wine since we got back and all that stuff. But I keep saying I'm going to do it again. And I really want to do it again. So I think we're going next year. I think we're going to go to Thailand, to Vietnam. We're going away, I think, for almost 3 weeks. Starting after my birthday in August, I'm going to do it again, no alcohol. So challenge yourselves. I find those challenges fun. I'm weird, but even if it's for 2 days or 3 days, if you're that person that has to have it, you will see your body feel different and look different. Okay. Are you accounting for your gum, your mints, your cough drops, your supplements? And when I say supplements, you guys know my story. I was doing all those gummies. I cut them out. I cut them out for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't really want to use my carbs for it because I started drinking again. I needed to use my wine carbs versus my gummies. But I'm like, just so you guys know, I only drink like on a Friday or Saturday. It's nothing crazy. So I don't want you to think I drink every night. But you have to account for those things. If you are taking fish oil tablets, that's fats. Are you tracking them, Margarita? Oh, you don't take them. Okay. I don't take them because I don't like when you burp and you could taste the fish. Ugh. The thought of it makes me nauseous. But there are burpless fish oil tablets, and they say when you're over 50 and you're going through menopause, you should be taking fish oil. There's other things you could take, but we're not talking about that today. But fish oil, it'll add up to about 150 to 190 calories a week if you're taking fish oil every day. Same with gum. I'm a gumaholic. I chew about 17 pieces of gum in an hour. An hour, not a day, an hour. I go through the box of gum that you can get at Costco in a week. Yeah. Because I coach so much and I can't eat while I'm coaching. So from 4 in the morning till 12 in the afternoon, I'm basically chewing gum. And I also have, what's the jaw thing? TMJ from that. So I get shots in my jaw of steroids because it's so bad, because I chew gum so much. Very bad. But I used to not track my gum. And then I realized, yeah, 1 piece is not bad, but when you're eating 17 pieces, I could have had a freaking apple or something, right? Same with Tic Tacs. and Mike called me out on this, and I think I've talked about this before. My friend Jenna and I, she was a competitor in bodybuilding. She used to own the Orange Theory that I worked at. And we would go through Tic Tacs, those big ones, those big circle, big things, in like a day. And we were like, this is amazing. There's no carb, there's nothing. Mike had to call it out to me. And I was a nutritionist at the time still. And he's like, Shannon, look at the package. There's nothing that has 0 calories in it in the world except water. And so Jenna went to her nutritionist who did her body composition. This was a very long time ago. This was like 10 years ago. And her nutritionist was like, yeah, you can have 1 or 2, not 150. And that's what comes in those containers. So please make sure that you guys are not forgetting to do that. 5 pieces a day is 175 calories per week. Yeah, I eat 17 in an hour. And it's sugar-free, but you have those alcohol sugars, those sugar alcohols. That's still carbs. So I'm not giving that up. I do track it. I scan a full pack of gum every day. And now I've been trying just to like pull it through. I don't chew gum when I'm not at Orange Theory. It's only when I'm there doing those classes. And it's kind of like a habit. Make sure you're logging raw foods as raw foods and measured foods as measured cooked foods. You have those options as entries. It says grilled chicken breast, raw chicken breast, dry rice, cooked rice. You can do it either way as long as you're choosing the correct entry. And you want to be as accurate as you can be. But we are human and we make errors, of course, totally normal. So just try to be as accurate as you can. And if you're creating recipes, create them the way you know you're going to be like don't change it all the time, right? If you're always cooking with raw chicken, then always use that raw chicken entry. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Okay, so those are things I want you to think about when you are not seeing progress. And then I want you also, I just lost my train of thought because I heard the phone ringing. Oh, I'm going off on a tangent now. I was listening to something, I can't remember if it was a podcast or if it was TV or something. I don't remember where I was, what I was doing. I could have been taking a course. I have no idea. But last week I was reading or doing something, and the number one thing that will stop you from weight loss and fat loss is not getting your sleep. You need to prioritize sleep. I don't even look at me. I cannot lead by example. But they're saying 7 to 8.5 hours of sleep every day. I get 5. Maybe 6. Raise your hand if you know you get 8. 7. 4. Yeah, 4. Do you ever nap? Do you nap? Yeah, no napping. So that will prevent you from making progress. And I think it was something with bodybuilding. I really cannot remember where I saw it or heard it or what it was, but it literally made a precedent in my head because the girl that she was talking to this doctor and he was saying, if you plan, it was like something for Mrs. Olympia or something, or Miss Olympia. And he said, if you are planning on being in this competition, then thank you, Nicole, for answering that. I appreciate it. She gets 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's awesome. He said, you're going to need to change your schedule and get that sleep because you're not going to make the progress you need to make in order to make it for that competition. And he said, how badly do you want it? And how much do you want to be in this competition? And then fast forward, she made all these changes in her sleep. For a lot of us, it's not possible, right? But we need to try as much as we can. And Nicole said she chews a lot of gum too. I don't get a lot of sleep, but I nap. I'm a big napper. Like I swear I'm going to open up a napping studio somewhere where there's little nap pods and people that work all day long that only get like an hour lunch, but want to take 30 minutes to nap part of it can go in these nap pods and it'll help you fall asleep really quick. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like I nap in my car. If I had a napping pod, that would be amazing. Between us, Orange Theory Fitness Corporate, which is in Boca Raton, Florida, has nap pods for their employees of corporate. They have a nap pod, they have a cold plunge, they have the water water thing that you can go underwater and floating, whatever that is, only for corporate employees. Is that not crazy? A nap pod. But I thought it would be so cool. And they do that because they're trying to promote wellness. And if you feel like you're getting tired at your desk, you can go take a 15-minute nap in a nap pod. Even on the clock. Just 15 minutes. So sleep, 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 sleep. Okay. I know I'm going to get cut off. So things I want to talk about when you are working out of an injury or you're coming off of an injury. And I'm doing this because at least five people that are in the Stride Tribe that are engaged and accountable have messaged me. Can you talk about this? Can you do this? Or like my sister, she has an injury. And every time I talk about fitness, she rolls her eyes and makes a face like she can't do fitness, which is bullshit. So just because you have an injury of some part, some limb, something, you can do something. I still have a fractured rib. It's not getting better. I went to the doctor because I can't breathe and it still hurts. It's still fractured since September. But I do things that I know I can do. Unfortunately, I do things I know I can't do either, but it's my job. But there's things you could do. So first I want to talk about, you need to talk to your doctor. You might feel great after being done with an injury, coming out of surgery. Your doctor said, oh, you're recovered now. You don't have to use those crutches anymore, or take the brace off or whatever. That's where you have to say, am I okay to start a workout program? Can I start a routine? Can I get back into my fitness? And when someone comes to me and they say that they just did this or just did that, I'm like, okay, but you're clear to work out, right? It doesn't matter if that body part is clear to work out fully, but they're clear to work out. We can always make options and modifications if that injury is not up to par yet. Always be active. Even if you are injured, you need to stay active. You're just not going to use the injured body part. So whether it's you're sitting at your desk and you are doing this, or you are doing this, or you are doing this, right? Or you're doing this. It's something, and you are staying active and you are still actively burning calories. You're moving your body. You're letting that thermogenesis still take effect. We're not asking you to walk up and down the stairs. I'm not asking you to do squats or lunges because I know you have that injury. That's why they have chair aerobics. Don't roll your eyes. They have chair yoga, all those things because people have injuries and they're working around them. Same thing at Orange Theory. People are like, oh, I can't do that because I hurt my shoulder. So I'm just going to sit this out. I'm like, well, what about bicep curls? Well, what about using a resistance band instead? Yeah, you can't do this, but you can take a resistance band and do this, no problem. Because a lot of people with over the shoulder, over the head injuries, I see it all the time. Or they can do this, right? There's always something you can do. Or people say, well, I can't do squats, so I'm not going to come to Orange Theory today. I'm like, why? Put bands around your ankles, keep your legs straight, and do this. Or lay on the ground and do this without a band. This is your knee, pretend. This is your knee, right? This is the top of your knee. This is your quad. If this is not strong, this will not recover. This has to be strong enough to support this. So if you're doing this, you're not hurting your knee at all, but yet you're building that quad muscle. And that's what's really important. People always think, well, I hurt my knee, I can't work my whole leg. I hurt my knee, I can't do bridges. Your butt has nothing to do with your knees. If you're laying on the ground and you're lifting your booty up and down, your knees are not having any effect of that. So those are the things that you have to think about. Go back slowly, listen to your body. Whether you're recovering from something or you just hurt yourself or you pulled a muscle over the weekend. Always listen, use ice, use heat, wrap yourself. I am the biggest advocate of KT tape. I keep 2 rolls in my gym bag at all times. I will tape you up if you walk into my studio and say, this bothers me. I'm like, tell me where it is. Let me tape you up. I go through KT tape like I go through gum. Not really. I go through gum a lot more. But I tape, let me mute you, Nicole. I tape everybody. I don't know why I can't mute you, Nicole. Oh, there we go. Okay. I have a lot of injuries. I was in a really bad car accident when I was a teenager. I had knee surgery, not orthoscopic, but actual open knee surgery. I have a full scar on my knee. I've done, I'm like chasing down, muting you guys. I do when I did half marathons, I would just tape up my knee with all that KT tape. When I had tendonitis on my elbow, which is tennis elbow, I taped it up every day. Tape helps, it works, and it helps with recovery too, just so you guys know. So KT tape, if you buy it anywhere and go on to YouTube and type in KT tape shoulder or plantar fasciitis, it will actually walk you through taping it. A physical therapist will show you exactly how much to pull, where to cut it, where to put it, all that stuff. When you go to physical therapy for any injury, the first thing you should say is, where can I put the KT tape? Can you put it on me? Show me how to do it so I can keep doing it. It is so useful. Okay. Start with small goals when you are recovering from an injury. I want you guys to know that, or remember that your recovery time should be double of how long you were injured. Now, I don't mean taking time off. I mean, like, let's say you had knee surgery and you had to take 4 weeks off from knee surgery for knee surgery. So you couldn't bend your knee or do any kind of that activity, not upper body, just the lower part, right? And then your doctor says you're clear to go back to working out. You need to give yourself that exact amount of time, if not more, working out to get back to where you were. Do not expect to be cleared and be ready to go in 2 weeks the way you were doing it. Swimming and pool workouts are amazing for any type of recovery because it takes the buoyancy away, right? You're lighter. You can lift like a 300-pound person when you're in the water. It takes that impact off your body. So whether you're injured or coming off of an injury or surgery, usually the doctor will say, get in the pool. Start moving that limb in the water. So if you have access to that and it's summertime, awesome. You could do arm lifts in the pool. You could do, believe it or not, when you have knee surgery, and I researched this for you also, Stacey, you could do jumping jacks, leg kicks, and walking in the pool as a form of physical therapy when you have knee surgery or knee injuries, hamstring injuries, quad injuries, calf injuries. If you have upper injuries, walking up and down stairs will get your heart rate up, will build lean muscle. You might not be able to lift those weights because you have upper body issues, you hurt yourself, but get on the stairs, go up and down. Now, I'm not talking about the Stairmaster at the gym because you can get injured if you can't hold on, right? God forbid something happen. But going up and down stairs, depending on the injury, it's a great way to burn calories and keep you on track. Resistance bands, they say, is besides stairs, is the number 2 modality to use when you are injured. And we talked about that. You can do side steps with bands on. You can do leg raises with a band on your ankles. Any kind of upper body, you can use bands. I had somebody today, she has compressed nerves. She couldn't use dumbbells. So I'm like, all right, let's work with the bands. I didn't even want her doing bicep curls because a lot of times we'll do this. So she was using the resistance bands. Stretching, yoga are all great ways of staying moving and great for loosening up your muscles. And nobody can say they don't have access to a gym or they can't go to the gym because YouTube has everything on there. I've been keep teaching Pilates again. So I've been trying to get new things back in my repertoire. All I've been doing is Googling Pilates classes and they're all over the YouTube. And you don't use a lot of your body parts when you do Pilates. There's a lot of core. So get on YouTube and just search for a workout. Stretching to stay fit. Stretching without using my this, my that, whatever the case is. A stationary bike is great also. And usually a stationary bike is a form of therapy for plantar fasciitis, quad injuries, hamstring injuries, knee surgeries. They will put you on a recumbent bike, not an upright bike. So if you don't have access to that, I wouldn't really do that. Balancing is great to stay fit focused. So you can balance with your planks. You can balance standing on one leg. You can balance, there's so many different ways to balance. You can hold on to something, but if our balance is off, we're risking more injuries. So we need to make sure we are taking that into consideration. And of course, walking. Walking is the cheapest, most accessible form of exercise depending on your injury. Of course, if you're told do not walk on this part of your body, you're not going to do it. It all depends on what your doctor says. Don't say, well, Coach Shannon said I can do it, so I'm going to do it, and I don't care what the doctor says. We always have to listen to your body. When you are recovering, you need to eat for recovery, and you need to drink your water. And if you are not taking vitamins, you need to start taking vitamins. If you are over 50, like me, and you are not taking vitamins, your body is going to start breaking down and telling you to get vitamins. I've been telling all the young girls that come into Orange Theory, make sure you start taking vitamins. Are you taking vitamins? Are you taking care of your skin? Like, they're all like, no, I don't do that. No, I don't do that. I'm like, did you put sunblock on today on your face? No. I'm like, dude, take it from me. I never took vitamins until I started becoming a nutritionist. I didn't use sunblock until on my face on a daily basis until I had skin cancer. Like, don't do that to yourself. Start now so you don't have these injuries. Nobody wants osteoporosis. Nobody wants all the injuries that come from getting older, but could be preventable. There's things you can't prevent. You can't prevent arthritis, right? You can get arthritis at 20. But there are things that we can prevent or prolong getting by eating correctly, by staying active. I'm not saying exercise, staying active and taking your vitamins. All right, I think I got everything in that I wanted to talk about tonight. I will see you guys next Wednesday. And again, I'll repeat stuff I've already talked about, and I'll have a new topic, just like we did tonight, just like I did last week. I'm trying to keep a theme going. So what's it called when you, reinforce stuff and then give you new information. So hopefully you got something out of this meeting, whether it was the first part or the second part. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Make sure you're logging, make sure you're drinking your water. Thank you, Nicole, for clapping. That means she got something out of it. That makes me happy. It's got to be something about the gum chewing. And I think that's it. So thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Our meeting next week is bring your favorite food, because it's meeting number 3. So make sure you guys write that down. I expect everybody to bring something, one thing, even if it's just one thing, bring one thing, please. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Again, congratulations, Bonnie, on winning the Stanley. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Hi, babe.